Hey again, and welcome back. Today I want to show you what's inside this box. This is just a sort of like one of these old boxes they used to use to put either was it floppy disks or file cards, or I don't know what it is. I got it at the dollar store for not very much money, and I put a latch on it. And what's inside here are LiPo batteries, because I used to do a lot of playing with RC boats, cars, planes, whatever. I needed a spot to put my LiPos where if one of them were to catch fire, everything would be okay. It would just, burn the other ones, but it'd be fine. Now, the problem is, life sort of got in the way. I started a different job, or I should say I took on a second job. And yeah, these have been in storage for almost 2 years now. I'd say this summer will be bordering on 2 years. So let's see if any of these are salvageable, and if they are not, then I'm going to have to order some more for future projects coming up. So if you don't know, a LiPo battery, at least a single LiPo cell, I should say, like this guy here, is just one LiPo cell. Oh, this is a 2-cell actually. Hold on, let me grab a single cell. Yeah, one of these. That's a single cell LiPo right there. Okay, so a single cell LiPo, you'll see it says here 3.7 volts. Now the 3.7 volts is nominal. They're completely empty around 3 volts, and they're completely full around 4.2 volts. And you're supposed to store them at roughly 3.7 volts per cell. So this is a single cell, it's just one. This is a 2-cell battery, which I put a custom plug on because this guy only had this balance lead on it. This was a long time before I started ordering silicone wires. This is PVC wires. That's not great. But you'll see the rest of these are the same brand because I used to just buy them as cheaply as possible. So let's see where these things sit. Let's use a multimeter here. Put it in volts. And let's start over here. So this is 11.1 volts, so it's a 3-cell. So we want 3.7 times 3. Maybe I should have done the math ahead of time. But it should be roughly 11.1 volts in storage charge. But again, this has been 2 years ago. So as long as this battery is over about 3.3 volts per cell, so about 9.9 volts, it should be safe to actually charge it again, but I would only charge it under supervision. So let's see here. So I got my multimeter in volts range, black on black and red on red. Careful not to touch them both together. We get 11.28 volts. So this one has actually kept its storage charge for over 2 years. So that's interesting. This one is good. This one here, again, 3-cell. And this one here should be at least 9.9 as well. Let's take a look. It's very possible that in my laziness I didn't put them in storage charge. No, 11.37. So this one's still good. This has been, again, almost 2 years in storage. Let's try this one here. This one has some arcing here from plugging it in. Any board that has a lot of capacitors, it'll arc like crazy. Oh, this one is low. .61 volts. That one is pretty low. 7.61. That's divided by 3. That's only 2.53 volts per cell. I'm going to put this one aside for a moment, and we'll get back to this one shortly. So that's not good. Let's check this guy out. Again, these are not the best quality batteries. 11.32. This one's good. So I'm amazed they've even lasted this long. This one will be backwards. That's okay. Ooh, this one's low. Very low. 4.7 volts. That's quite low. I don't feel a puffy cell, but I think these two here are going to have to be thrown out. And this guy here, this is a 2-cell, 7.4 volts, if you can see there. These JSTs are a bit harder to get onto. I don't want to short them. 7.7. This one is nearly fully charged. That's probably not good for it. And this one here, this is a 2-cell as well. The EC3 connector, 7.68. Oh, actually no, 7.4 is good. Okay, so these are not nearly fully charged. These are on storage charge as well. That's good. Now this guy, I bought these on eBay a bunch at a time, and these are crap. This one's probably completely dead. Let's see. Wow, it's almost fully charged. 4.082 volts. Now don't forget, this has been in storage for like almost 2 years. So I'm going to take the good ones and I'm going to throw them back in here. My kind of fireproof storage. So that one is put away. Well, let's take a look at, oh, this guy needs to get stored too. Let's take a look at these 2 cells. Okay. So the trick to checking the individual cells now is that this one here is the ground. And this one is between 2 cells, this is between 2 cells, and this is all the way positive. So if I put my probe here on the black, and I go here, I should get the same pack voltage that I got before. So 7.61. You see that I'm going across all of them. But now if I move my black one next to this one, because it's between 2 cells, it'll give us the voltage of that one cell. So I'm going to move the black probe over here. So this first cell here, from the positive down, is a good cell. It has 3.79 volts, pretty much what you expect as a storage charge. It's going to move my red lead back over to where the black one was. I'm going to move my black lead over here. This cell is completely dead. 0.069 volts. So that cell is done. If you try charging this cell, it could result in fire. So that is not a good thing. Let's move over and check the last cell. The last cell should have the remaining voltage. Yeah, so those 2 cells are good. So the two, these two, the first cell and the last cell are good. The middle cell here is completely dead. So you could now technically rip this apart and make 2 single cell batteries with it, and it would be just fine. But I'm not sure if I want to do that. Not sure if I want to risk it. I may, but we'll have to see. But this one here cannot be charged. So I should have a Sharpie around here. Taking a look. And I'm going to write in big letters, do not charge. Do not charge. Okay, and I'll put cell 2 just so I remember. It's going to be this cell here. Okay, so that's one out of the way. Might write do not charge here too. There we go. And this has to be stored in a metal box as well, just in case. So now this one here. So this one had very similar voltage. No, this 4.695. So I would say 2 out of the 3 cells are completely dead. So let's find out which one. And so this one, you see there's the one positive wire and the rest are black, but it works just the same. So I'm going to take this one here, check the last cell in the pack, dead. 0.120 volts. Here, let me prop this up for you so you can see it a bit better. Better or worse? That's better. There we go. Okay, so right at the end here with my black lead, and I'm checking it right there. Okay, 0.120. I'm going to move over here. 2.191. That is also pretty low. And then my last one here, 2.384. So you could probably slowly charge this up and hope that it keeps a charge, but I will say this one is completely dead. I wouldn't risk it. So this one here has to be scrapped. That's a shame because this is one of my newest batteries. But when you get batteries from unknown locations, then you get what you get. Now, how are we going to safely discharge this battery? Well, let's see here. I do have this random resistor sitting on my bench. I got Sharpie all over my fingers now. Let's see what's the ohms of this resistor. I think it's like 150 or so. Oh, it's 500 ohms. So if I do the math, this thing has like 4 point something, let's say 5 volts. 5 volts divided by 400 ohms, 12.5 milliamps of current. So this will slowly discharge it. And what I can do here is I can plug it into this balance lead like this. This shouldn't get hot at only 12 milliamps of discharge rate. Put this down like this, and that should hold on to there and slowly discharge this battery completely. Now while it discharges though, because it's a damaged battery, we've already established this, we have to monitor it. We can't just walk away and let it do its thing. So let's see here. I wonder why the voltage is climbing. That's fairly odd. We are pulling a load on it. I'm sure we are. Oh, there we go. It's dropping now. See how fast that's dropping? It's got no capacity left. So we're going to leave that for a little while and see maybe in 10 minutes what we're up to. So it's been a few minutes and I'm getting impatient. So let's check into this. Because I have a feeling that as the voltage drops, our current's going to drop and this is going to take forever. So let's see here. 3.58, 5.7, 5.6. Yeah, it is dropping, but a little slow for my tastes. I did find another random resistor on my bench, and this guy is about 150 ohms. So let's see what happens with a 150 ohm resistor. It should be like 20 some milliamps. I'm sure it won't get that hot. There we go. Let's check the draw on this now. You can't really be in a hurry while you're doing this because it is possible to generate some heat in the pack. Whoops. DC volts. There you go. Watch this thing drop. That's going a lot faster. Alright, well now let's give this thing about 10 minutes and see where we're at. So it's been roughly 15 minutes with the 150 ohm resistor. Let's see where we're at. Oh, I think it slipped off. Contact isn't great. Yeah, there we go. It's discharging again. Not quick enough though. Okay, so how can we speed this up? Well, I do have this guy, which is a 1 ohm resistor. That's going to make quite a bit of current, but hopefully there's not too much juice left in this battery, so it won't be too bad. So let's see how we're going to do this. Go like this. I'm actually curious to see the amount of amperage that's going to come out of here. Could be a couple of amps, 2-3 amps. How about I'll do it through the multimeter then. So if something goes wrong, we'll all get to see it. So like this. Sorry about that terrible noise. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my black clamp, put it over here. Okay, connect this to the red. And let's see how much wattage we can pull out of this. Wow, 63 milliamps. That's not too much. So let's actually swap this and put it over like this. I'm going to pull this little resistor out. And we can check the voltage now, which should be going down precipitously with that 1 ohm 5 watt resistor. Ooh, something's getting hot. It's not this. It smells hot though. Not shorting this internally, nope. Voltage here is down to next to nothing. But it's staying like that. It's not actually dropping anymore. That's odd. Did this just get hot all in one shot and then give up the ghost? I don't know. The voltage should be dropping. That's odd. Why is the voltage not dropping? If I undo this, what's my voltage now? Wow, that's like all the way recovered. What the heck is going on here? It's a good connection there. Should be connected through. Okay, well, something got hot, but not sure what, because I did see a wisp of something. This is definitely running current. Yeah, still 51 millivolts. Is this getting warm? Nope, this is not even getting even a little warm. Interesting. Not quite sure what to make of that. Well, I guess we'll just wait it out and see what happens. Just gonna make sure that this doesn't get hot. It doesn't seem to be. which is good. Well, gonna give it a bit more time, I guess. The voltage keeps climbing, so I'm gonna add another resistor in parallel. So if these resistors truly are 1 ohm, adding another one in parallel will drop the resistance to half an ohm, and hopefully that'll mean it'll discharge a bit quicker. We shall see, however. The battery is getting quite puffy. It's the voltage climb when I squeeze on that. I'm actually going to probably pull the plastic off to see if giving it a bit more breathing space perhaps will let it discharge quicker. These lithium polymer batteries are no joke though, so you should not mess with them if you're not willing to put out a fire. They're pretty safe in their intended use, but once you start messing with them, they can bite back. There we go, giving the cells a bit of room to breathe. They are quite puffed up. You see that looseness there? Right, well, here goes nothing. Voltage dropped a little. Pack is warm. So we're down at just about 20 millivolts here. A bit more if I squeeze this. Pack is warm to the touch, but not hot. I wonder if I squeeze it long enough if... well, I actually feel it squeezing, like exhausting back. But anyways, I really need this to be done with. I wonder if I should short it now. I'm kind of afraid that this is gonna swell up like crazy though. I could add another resistance in parallel. These resistors are like not even warm. It's almost done though. So what I could do is I can just shove a little jumper link in there, and at the very least I'll get a result on camera. Let's see here. I can't hold this for very long because this could get hot. Kind of don't want to even hold it a bit. I think I've hurt myself enough times on my channel. So let's see what happens here. Shouldn't be too much energy left in this battery. I'm actually going to turn this sideways so that if it puffs up, then at least we'll have a good view of that. Oops, I just chucked it right out. It did affect the voltage. Voltage dropping. My goal is to get this down to 0. There we go. It's pretty much at 0 volts now. Alright, so now I'll show you what the plan is for this thing. Let's just see if this thing's hot. No. Okay, so it's pretty much dead. Completely dead. I can remove all this. That's good there. So now we know it's pretty much 0 volts. We'll just make sure of that by grabbing these guys like that, and so one there. I'll just kind of shove that in the holes. 1 and 2. Yeah, okay. No voltage left in there. Whatever's left is being dissipated through this link here. So that's good. So now what I'm going to do is, technically I could cut these two leads at the same time because there's no voltage left, but I'm so used to doing it this way. You should never cut them at the same time. So now I'm going to strip this off. There's one wire. There's 2 wires. And don't forget, we still have the short here. So it should be safe. Let's just confirm the voltage on this guy is not or near not. Yeah, no voltage. So we should be able to just link these two together. There we go. If we wanted to, we can even solder that for extra security. But yeah, this pack is not going to give off any more voltage. We are good to go on that aspect. So there we go. And now I can cut these off. So I cut this off so I can keep this plug. It's a nice little lead. And cut this off now. Three and 4. And now that is it. I could in fact strip these out and short them all together, but I do believe that that's fine as is. Just confirm that here. 1, 2, 3. I can't help but being nervous around this battery, even though it should be completely safe at this point. But let's see here. So this is the full negative over here. You can tell that because it is soldered up to this wire here, which is our black wire. And I should get 0 volts here. Ooh, I get a negative voltage. 0.2 volts. And here, another negative voltage. So actually one of the cells is not discharged. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to discharge these cells. We're going to have a choice. So I'm going to put my resistors onto the individual cells to try to drop them down. I guess I should have done that. So here comes one. Between here, I'm going to fold that over so it doesn't short. And this guy. So that'll be going down. And we can set up another one. Between this guy and which one? Yes, and this guy. And there we go, and that'll drop again. So we can check the voltages on those. So the voltage across here, $115 millivolts and dropping. And the voltage across here, this one is like nothing. So if this one is nothing, we can go between the red. Let's see if we can go between the red here and this black one here. And the voltage between these two is nothing. Alright, well, I guess we'll let that set too. And after that, the best thing to do would be to wrap all these 3 wires together. And then we'll be good to go. We'll be good to dispose of this in a proper manner. But yeah, this is how I discharge my batteries. I use either high wattage resistors, or if I was outside, I would just link them together with a switch or something, and or put a light bulb into this connector here, then twist the wires together, and then you can dispose of it in your, I believe you can dispose this in your local trash, but it depends on where you live. I hope this was at the very least informative, and if not, well, entertaining. And once again, thanks for watching.